Leighton Jones. I'm the Director of the Disaster and Emergency Services Department here at the Red Cross in Rochester. One of the main things we do is we respond to every house fire in our region, which is Monroe County and Western Ontario County. And that's assisting a family after a house fire about once a day. So it's a regular occurrence for us. Our teams of volunteers come into the chapter, pick up our supplies in our vehicle, and meet the family at the scene of the fire. We're called by 911 and are there within an hour. We assist the family with housing, food, clothing, medications right there at the scene with mental health counseling. And then as their recovery continues over the next days and weeks, we assist them with replacement housing and replacement furniture so they can get their lives back on track after their house fire. So as I said, we assist a family like that almost every day here in our community in Rochester. The other things we do in our department is we do our services to armed forces, which is an emergency messaging service for those in the military to enable them to have homeland leave for major life events in their family, like births, deaths, or illnesses of immediate family members. We transmit about 2 messages a day through our emergency messaging service to the military from right here at our chapter in Rochester. And those families in the military rely on our service to get them home for those events. Other things we do in our department is we do community disaster preparedness education. We go into community groups and teach people how they and their families can be more prepared when disasters happen. So they have a disaster kit and a disaster plan in their house so that their whole family knows what to do when disasters strike their family and so that their recovery can be quicker. So one of the other things that we do is international tracing. We are able to attempt to reunite families who've been separated by war and refugee situations across the world and bring them back together if they're here in Rochester or around the world through the worldwide network of Red Cross chapters. So as you can tell, our department here in Disaster and Emergency Services is very busy. And one of the other things we do is make sure we support our chapters across the country when disasters strike wherever they may be. So recently we've seen us send Red Crosses from Rochester to assist with the plane crash in Buffalo just a couple of weeks ago. We see Red Crosses assist along the hurricane zone for Gustav and Ike last season, and also every season in the past we send our people to whatever region's been impacted. And our people are on call wherever that disaster may happen, whether it be wildfires in California, hurricanes along the coast, or flooding closer to home. So we're always ready to respond, whether it be locally here in Rochester or across the country. So how can you help Disaster and Emergency Services? You can sign up to be a volunteer. Not only do we need volunteers that go out to assist with house fires, we need volunteers that go around the country or even just help us here in the office. So think of considering volunteering for the Red Cross Disaster Services today. The other thing I would challenge everybody to do is make sure you and your family are prepared for disaster. Go to redcross.org or rochesterredcross.org and look at our preparedness materials to make sure you have a disaster kit and a disaster plan for your family. Thank you.